Connolly, sharing with Deputy Lyon.
I fully support this motion, and I want to thank Sinn Féin for the detail in the motion, and particularly for recognising that the best value for money is provided by directly employed and not for profit home care workers. And in that context, and particularly in a night where we've just had a 2-hour discussion on the summary economic statements, I find the speech that was read out by the Minister disingenuous and worrying. I find it disingenuous because he talks about hundreds of thousands and millions of hours without putting them in any context whatsoever. I also find it, I'm in agreement with Deputy Alan Kelly in relation to his statement which jumped out at me on page 2. The service is not demand-led and is therefore operated in line with agreed budgetary limits and targets as set out in the plan. And then on the other page, a sort of a collateral damage to that type of budgeting. We have 6,310 people assessed as needing home help, but they're not going to get it. And he tells us, he assures us that the health executive has said that that list is reviewed as funding becomes available. And therein is the nub of it. As funding becomes available. Now, as Sinn Féin, the motion has set out, it's much more cost effective. And Minister, if you can stand up here tonight and tell me it's not, I'll certainly be apologising to you if you can show me what's been set out here and that motion is not correct. So if it's correct, even if we're out by a few euros, then how can a minister come in here tonight following the summary economic statements and not set out a vision that will save this country money? Isn't that incumbent on him to tell us how he will save money by having a proper statutory scheme for home care help as of right, with no co-payment, as of right to look after our people? Your 2018 National Risk Assessment put it down as a risk, the fact that our population was getting elderly, which is a positive, but the actual implications of that needed planning. The organisations on the ground, like Age Action and other organisations, are also worried, and we're being told that by the 2016 statistics there were 637,000 plus over 65, and that's going to increase to 1 million by 2031. And I don't use those figures to frighten. I use those figures in a positive way, in the manner that you should be using them as a result of your risk assessment to plan in a proper way for home help. My time is limited, so I'm going to finish by putting a human face now on those figures. But there's a duty on you to save money, and you do that by providing a service that's cost effective with directly employed people. That's demand-led. Of course it's demand-led. If I look at Galway, and I quickly read out 3 people. I've 1 minute. Yeah. A person, I won't say man or woman, early 60s with dementia, 11.5 hours maximum, no more. After many representations, it looks like there's a review. A person with a progressive serious disease, maximum 10 hours. Another person, 96, 10 hours. That's Galway City. And there's one thing I disagree with the motion from Fianna Fáil, and it's in relation to the rollout of the single assessment tool. I certainly don't agree with that. That was run out as a pilot project, hasn't been assessed, hasn't been looked at, and is, in my opinion, an integral part of the problem. So, Minister, I would ask you to withdraw your motion. I would ask Fianna Fáil to withdraw that part of their motion, and let's go forward together in a positive way to save the state money and to value our elderly people. Thank you.
O'Sullivan.